Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. I was just thinking about this, looking at the markets and having conversations with people who are obviously pretty disappointed that the interest rate environment has gone the opposite way of what everybody was hoping. And seriously, since the Fed rate cut, we've really seen significant increases in interest rates. And so while a lot of people were geared up to really pound the refinance market and have this conversation, the consumer themselves was really looking forward to getting some relief, saving some money on their monthly payment, maybe getting some equity out of their house to do some things, but maybe even selling their house and buying another one, all of which can still be done with where we are, but clearly the emotional tie to where rates are is always a thing. But the other thing that comes to mind looking at what's going on in the marketplace and realizing here we are at the end of October, and what I call this episode is we're really just one holiday season away to the point where we may be pushing people over the edge of their financial wherewithal. And to me, I think that's a really important thing to at least think about and possibly address in your market with your people. Because again, with credit card debt being at an all-time high and going higher pretty much every day, how much longer is it going to be before the credit card companies really start to evaluate their portfolios and stop extending credit limits to people who have been using those rising credit limits to continue their lifestyle, and was really their only lifeline to stay afloat. And could that really be that restriction? What happens if those credit cards become unavailable to them, or those credit lines become unavailable to them? And we could be looking at late payments and repossessions and defaults of all kinds, potentially right around the corner as people try to navigate through the holiday seasons. We really could be looking at a situation where come next January, February, March, April, people max themselves out as far as they can go, and we start seeing these things happen. And then how long will it be before the credit card consolidation companies start showing up and they step up their efforts to get people to do some things, or people with less than great programs start second, third mortgages or lines of credit, or other things that people start looking at, buy here, pay here, or payday loans, and all the things that we warn people about. And it's up to us to let people know that before this happens, before they're missing a payment, before they've exhausted themselves, with the way things have been going in the marketplace, many people are sitting on a ton of equity. And while rates may not be as favorable as they would have liked, refinancing them and getting them some time and getting some cash in their pocket and paying off the outstanding debt, or down to a point where they can manage the monthly payments before the bad stuff happens. Because you and I both know, once the trouble starts, that there's not a lot we can do for them straight up and down in the consumer market. Once they start missing payments, it becomes a whole new ballgame, and pricing gets challenging. And what I think we can do is have these conversations with people. A simple YouTube video. Find yourself a local bankruptcy attorney or a credit counselor or whatever, and have these conversations as an interview format. And you can post them on YouTube or your website, or share the information on Facebook or LinkedIn, or wherever it is that you're posting your social media things, to let people know that the time to act is before critical mass emerges, that there may still be time for you to look at their situation and do something that can help them before things get out of hand. And they can always, if the market goes down, you and I both know they can always refinance later. So I get it. The rate market has not been our friend, but there are things that we can be doing to, look at this market and realize, because rates haven't gone down, the old expression, one door closes, another one opens. There are people out there who have, a situation where you might be able to help them. There are times that you could get out there and get in front of these other people, these other professionals, and do an interview that might save somebody's financial wherewithal for, many years to come. And it may open the door to a referral partner and other opportunities down the road. You never know. So obviously, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to think about in this area. And if you've got any questions or you'd like to talk about it, you can just reach out, Mike, impcoaching.com, and we can have that discussion, because it is something that we need to be aware of. And I think in many cases, there's situations where we could be very helpful to our community and to the people that we have worked with in the past and our neighbors, because the time to act is before things get really out of control. As always, Mike at impcoaching.com. We'll talk to you again next week. Take care.